Alright, in the bottom right side, we got ourselves a red Terran player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. Top left side, the blue Zerg. He is from the Kaiser Gamers. He is Solar. Stepping in because, well, the wrist of the wrist of Bjorn just apparently up to the point where his hand went numb. So probably a good idea to stop playing at that point, you know. He's a very stubborn man. Got a 3-0 against Solar with a bad wrist. Yeah, I mean, he mentioned his hand went numb, guys. His hand went numb. And he manhandled Solar to a point where it didn't even feel like it was even competitive at sometimes, right? It was like, what is happening here? He's going double Raven opening against a Zerg, and he's just making it work on all shapes and sizes. But yeah, so it's a bummer. It's a bit of a bummer, but we do get ourselves another ZVT because of this, I suppose. Right? It's a very fun matchup after all. Strength training for the wrists, yeah. Stuff like this, right? It could help out, but you know, I would. Bjorn, very smart person. I would doubt that he just didn't take all those things into account as well. You did see, right? He also has this this thing where I had a friend that had this as well, but there's like his wrist. How do you call this? Forgot the English term for it. Going into medical, well, yeah, biological terms here. The joint of his wrist. It has like a little pocket right there, like a big bulge from the wrist that is just not doing well. You can look at that in the GSL kind of VODs as well, the previous one where he was in. You can clearly see that he's having some serious issues with this type of stuff. But anyway, let's hope he does well. And Bjorn said he'll try to be back soon. He'll try to join us again at some other point. I mean, he's definitely got quite some tenacity. It doesn't look like he wants to give up anytime soon. He wants to just keep going. So yeah, let's keep the hope here, and hope he will be able to continue onwards at some other point. Pros will usually ignore pain and perform anyway. That's what makes them pros. Yeah, but I mean, could just make it worse as well, right? I think a big part of the reason why we saw the decline of Maru not that long ago was because he was also ignoring the pain. Ignoring the pain and just continuing to play, it worsens your situation. It makes it a lot worse. You start to play worse and worse as well because of it. And it's just not a good thing to do, ignoring the pain. It really isn't. If anybody, you know, if you have pain with anything, any type of medical thing that kind of has you worried, go check it out, guys. It really is not worth walking around with that type of pain, right? I mean, this is why some of the great people. I mean, we all know Total Biscuit, right? We all remember him. He was ignoring pain. He was ignoring things that was going on in his body as well. And yeah, just I mean, terrible stuff can happen because of this type of stuff, right? So never, ever, ever ignore that type of stuff. Just take care of yourself, guys. And yeah, all right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's watch the series, shall we? We have a Spire on the way. A couple of benches here in the third base for Solar. Gonna try to make that mark as well. Actually, I'm gonna go straight towards that main base. Four barracks here being constructed as well. Gonna try to ramp up that production quite heavily. Does he have a third base? Yeah, okay, he does. For a moment I thought he may be trying to get away with a very, very quick two-base attack. It's just their mindset, yeah. I get you, buddy. That's 8 worker kills here, actually, on these Banshees. This is what Cure does with Banshees. It is nuts. It's like, oh, you got 2 queens and a spore crawler in every mineral line. Alright, let me just get 8 drones then, instead of 25. You know what? Let me get 9. Come on, give me the 9. There we go. It's gonna lose both the Banshees there, but that's okay. I feel like they did their damage. 15 workers in total killed off right now, together with the Banshees and those Hinds, of course, that we saw earlier in the natural here. 12 Mutalisks on the way. We saw Solar starting to step it up as well in the later parts of the match against Bjorn as well. Started to gain some more traction overall. Let's see if he will keep that ball going into his favor. Should be able to get both these medevacts here as well. Almost felt like he maybe Cure was a bit too quick with trying to pick everything up there and make his escape. Was not in a position where he would be able to get those Marines in a position where he would just be fighting against those Mutalisks. Here we go. This is a pretty darn solid attack actually for Mr. Solar. He's making some headway. Oh, the Zerglings there letting go of the siege tank. Perhaps anticipating that was already taken care of here. Now he did clean up a good portion of the army. May want to consider just grouping up a little bit more. So a couple of Zerglings here in the third base are dealing quite a bit of damage to the Mutalisk. Meanwhile, keeping those Marines to a low number here. Keeping them preoccupied as well. Allowing those Zerglings to do this damage right now. The Zerglings, are they going to try to get into the natural? No, they are not. The third base completely left open right now, though. Is a place where Solar is getting quite a bit of damage. Denying a lot of mining there. Oh, moving forwards. I thought Solar was going to move backwards. He's committing onto these Marines and the siege tank, though. And it's working out for him. For a moment, that got me a little bit worried. Thought he may not be taking the best straight there. The +1/+1 is finished up now after all for Cure. We're still going to try to keep this going for as long as possible. More Zerglings, more Mutalisks continuously in the production. He's still only on 60 workers and 59 here for Cure. So even though things have been looking to go a bit more into Solar's favor, if Cure does manage to secure this third base again, he should be in an alright position here to keep the fight going. Maybe even a pretty darn good one, seeing how we still don't have Evo chambers here for Solar. In fact, we don't even have a Baneling Nest, guys. We don't have a Baneling Nest. We don't have Baneling Speed because of this, of course, either. Solar is trying to finish this off right here, right now, with these Mutalisks and the Zerglings. Is he going to be able to? I'm not quite so sure if he is. Another missile turret did get created here. Solar sincerely needs to consider slowing down the aggression here. Backing up a little bit. Grouping up all his stuff and then perhaps going in again with the Zerglings together with the Mutalisk. Alright, here we go. That's a nice surround with those Zerglings. No place to run for those Marines. Is it going to be enough though? +2/+2 is coming in as well pretty soon, guys. And yeah, the upgrade advantage is just massive. There it is. GG. And Cure does take game number 1 here. Alright, Solar not making that one go into his favor there, unfortunately. It got pretty close, right? It got pretty darn close. Not quite getting it into his favor, though. Almost managed to do it, just barely coming up short. Just barely coming up short. Alright, by the way, guys, I've not mentioned it for a while now. We do have, of course, a Matcherino page as well, if you haven't already. You're fine not to as well. That's completely fine. It's up to you. But if you want to support the StarCraft II tournaments we make, if you want to support the StarCraft II players as well, a little bit financially without giving any of your own money, that is the best way to do. If you do want to give your own money to these players, of course, if you're like, feeling extra generous, if you did extra well in the stock market or something like that with all the fluctuating things going on right now, who knows? Maybe you're like, all right, well, these players they need to get a bit of extra dough. The place to be is, of course, the Matcherino page as well. You can get the replay packs as well if you want. And yeah, get all that stuff going into whichever way you want. Give these players a little bit of extra cash for their troubles. So Solar versus Kyo, game number 2 will be played on Gigantha again. Once more on this map. Well, I guess it is a best of 7, so there were no vetoes there involved. I need to double check. This was Solar, right? Picking this map? It was. Alright, it was. Definitely. Oh well. Bjorn's English was pretty good, actually. Bjorn seems pretty okay with his English. It's cool to see. You know who else is pretty good with English? It's this guy, this fella. Right here in the top right side, the blue Zerg. Will he be able to get a point on the board here? Let's hope he will. He is the one and only Kaisi Gamer Solar. In the bottom left side, there is a red Terran player from the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. Alright. Here we are. A second hatchery and a Reaper fast expand from Cure. All is well in the world. Everything is looking alright. Going in for the scouts. Trying to see those proxy barracks, potentially. Where's this overlord going? Just moving one of them backwards. Okay, there we go. This is the one that's going backwards. Bum bum ba da. I think this is just the way to do it, actually, with the Overlord going to the left side. I'm seeing Solo do this right now. Something I've been looking into as well, because if you send your Overlord over here, of course it's going to get sniped. A unit over here will be able to see it, or give vision to whatever underneath. If you send it over here to try and get to this location, it will be safe in this little spot right there. But, well, it's difficult to get a scout off or see anything. You know, that is important. And on your way over there, you may be getting yourself into a bit of trouble. If your opponent goes for a Marine first, that could provide quite a bit of extra damage here. Man, Solar, I don't know what it is, but every time I see him in this type of situation, it just seems like his queens are slower than the other Zergs. He did get himself a very quick third. I suppose that is the reason why. Get both queens at the same time, I believe. Yeah, looking at this and the timing on the creep team, it looks like that is the case. So yeah, Solar is a Zerg player that loses those Zerglings just a lot more often than you would see other Zergs do. So, oh wow, he's gonna get the Reaper though. That is all well and good right now then for Mr. Solar. Bit of an uptick. His third base did still get scouted, so no doubt on the Cure's mind about that one. Does he see the Overlord? No. Right. Third base on the way. Tech Lab ready for that starport. Could be another Banshee opening here. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Banshee openings, a trademark play from Cure. Something that I'm always continuously incredibly impressed by. How much damage this man can get done with those Banshees. And Solar's making 6 more lings right now. Speed is coming up. Prepping perhaps for a couple of Hellions to run in or run by. Attempt to, at least. Overlord does get the scout and everything that is important to see here. Third base, Banshee with the cloak as well. All being revealed to him. Starts up his lay attack immediately. Needs to grab some spores as well though, of course. Will he start grabbing them now? Probably should right about now, right? Cutting it close. Cutting it very close. Is this Banshee earlier than regular? I suppose there's not that many Hellions on the field. Okay, there's the spores. Let's see, is that still in time? Oh, well, if it stands still, it definitely will be. May just be because the map is so elongated. It takes the Banshee a lot longer to get across. Yeah, absolutely fine. Alright, that's cool to know. That is cool to know. Alright, Kjør. Going for the bio play behind this, of course. As it usually does. More barracks on the way. It's going to send that factory across as well. Will get himself on top of the tech lab here. Start making siege tanks. So the siege tank bio play from Kjør. Double upgrades also. Solar going for the double upgrades this time around as well. Does already have those 2 Evo chambers on the way. Ooh, nice, nice going into that spore there. Good bit of micro. Fourth base for Solar also on the way. So, bailing speed and these upgrades are behind the Spire, so Solar trying to get a bit of everything here. But that Spire may be able to shut down the Banshee harass a lot earlier, right? Only 5 workers have gone down. It's definitely within the playable margin here, as long as he kind of stims it right now. It doesn't take too much more damage anywhere else. But with those Hellions and those Banshees still lurking about. Oh, let's see. Yeah, 2 more workers go down. 4 more workers go down. Starting to tip the worker skill into the balance of Kjør here a little bit. Mutalisk did manage to take care of those Banshees. Third base for Kjør, only a single missile turret there. Should be enough though against a low number of Mutalisk. But those Hellions, oh, nice pick off there. A little bit overstaying is welcome. Gotta be careful. A Hellion does not trade well for a Mutalisk. It's not worth it. Better to let the Hellion live. Some very solid creep spread here, by the way, from Solar. It's going to take a while for Kjør to really push through here. Unless if Solar tries to take another base over here, 5th base. That does become a point where he still needs to get a bit more creep out further into this location. Actually, we're seeing this exact situation coming up to play right now. Still has a quick second to try and get that creep a little bit further out. But Solar's going to just go for the counter-attack. The counter-offensive. There's Hellbats here, though. So those Zerglings will not be sufficient with trying to clean this up. Mutalisk can try to force out a stim here, perhaps. Could already be worth it, right? The more stims you force out, the less energy is going to be on those medevacs. There we go, trying to bait him. Trying to kind of get a good glimpse at exactly what kind of marine numbers are there as well. More bailings on the way. Solar playing it smart though. He's on 90 workers. He's not just rushing in here trying to deal with this. He is just building up as much as possible. While he's already on an economy that is very, very juicy. I don't think we've ever seen him so far with the Baneling Mutalisk get up to a really healthy drone count, and that's exactly what he has got himself right now. He's going to go for the base trade, forcing Cure backwards actually. Absolutely everything Cure has is moving backwards right now. Solar still having a bit back at home as well, it looks like, but oh my god, those Baneling hits. You know what, they were definitely getting some value there. 22 workers going down. That definitely is worth it. Zerglings here trying to find what they can. We'll be able to get a siege tank as well. May want to move backwards immediately. They were, in fact, trying to rotate around here to get another counterattack going immediately afterwards. And that could help out even more so. There's some marines behind the mineral fields. Yeah, not going to be able to clean that up, unfortunately. Honestly, Solar, I would just keep your Zerglings over here. You're going to be able to come in with a full surround. Instead, is going to just let this base go down, perhaps? Okay, no, he's coming in here. Gotta be careful. Still a lot of marines there on the low ground. ITaX did just finish up, so Solar will be able to start his +3/+3 at the same time as Cure is doing so. Oh, Solar getting a bit too far forward with his surround setup. Not sure how he wants to take this fight here. Or even does want to take the fight. May be considering another bit of a run by. And that's exactly what he does. More counter aggression here. Cure keeping more stuff at home this time around, but still having difficulty really dealing with the vast number of units that Solar is sending across that to him. Fifth base of Solar starting to get recreated as the fourth base of Cure is starting to take root as well. Getting himself into a planetary. Could be a nice juicy target here for Solar to try and get some headway. Is still gonna aim his sights on this base right here. Now gonna go straight into the natural base. Wants to get on top of those marines here and actually get a full-on base trade going, perhaps. Force that out. Is gonna move backwards. Try and get on top of that missile turret. Oh, those SCVs. 18 of them once again go down. Cure, he's gonna be hard-pressed. He needs to make more happen now. He's just trying to ensure that he's not going to be pushing onto creep here. That's a lot of Zerglings and a lot of Banelings. Maybe a little bit too early coming in here as Solar is going to try to take advantage of there still being some creep here. And does take the better trade there, I would say. The army supply of Cure still quite terrifying overall. But most of it is still moving across. Giving Solar a bit of a moment to recreate his Banelings. Recreate more Zerglings. And get some Ultralisk out as well. Who do not have their... is that chitinous plating? It's called chitinous plating, right? They don't have it quite yet. It's not even in the production. So that could be a mistake. But even then, without the extra plating, they are going to do very well against the army setup of Cure here. He's still just mainly on the marines, on the siege tanks. And I feel like Solar should have a really good shot here at taking out his opponents. Only 39 workers available for Cure here. One more army smash and that should be it. That should be victory there for Solar. Solar can't even afford to lose a base. It's not going to be too much of a hindrance to him, right? This base right here, may as well cancel it. Doesn't matter, don't have to fight there. Just try to get that fight going on creep as efficiently as possible. And you should be able to take the victory here. Get that dubs. Get that big old dubs on his side. That's the scan. That's the scary army. GG. Taps out. Cure knew. Cure knew that was going to be it. GG. Well played. Well played there by Solar. There we go. Did manage to get himself into the high numbers of the drone count. And that is looking like that was enough there. Was enough for his friend. Mr. Cure. His partner in crime. In this best of 7 matchup. Alright, Solar and Cure, game number 3, Death Aura. A very cool map. Some big macro games can occur on this one as well, of course. Cure, what else could he do in this type of situation, right? Just not quite being able to do all the economic damage that he wanted. And then the big difference as well is, of course, Kjør kind of slowing down his pushes here and there, right? He came out with big pushes, coming across with massive amounts of units. In comparison to Bjorn, he just kept trading continuously, kept just coming in, get the trades, force out more Zerglings, force out more Banelings. Maybe he didn't win the fight right then and there, but he did force out more of those army units instead of drones, keeping Solar very low on the economy continuously. Here, we're having a different situation. Kjør more so trying to just get those massive balls of units across. Keep pushing that way. Never got in a position where he forced Solar to stay on a lone drone count. Never got in a position where he forced Solar to not really partake in any kind of base trade. He was continuously hard pressed with the advancing Terran units here. Gonna go scout for a proxy Rex right now as well. Not a bad idea. Could be something that Kjør throws into a best of 7 at least once, so smartly scouting around, wisely scouting around here. The second Overlord though, a little bit of a double overlap there on the scouting pattern. A little bit. Could have flown, of course, past this way. Maybe get a bit more further out before coming back around. Alright, anyway. Kjør, my man. What is he doing? Let's see. There it is. Orbital coming out. Natural base as well. The low ground. I think another big thing, like another big difference that we saw there, of course, was a little bit of a quick Aspire, perhaps. The aggression from Kjør still being a bit more orientated towards the earlier parts and then slowing down. And Bjorn just really ramming it down, continuously coming across the field. I mean, like, if you ever stop making Zerglings, I will start to steamroll here. And if you never make drones, I will start to steamroll here, because I just have a better economy than you. And I trade out more efficiently as well. So yeah, let's wait and see. I would like to see Kjør going into the whatchamacallit, the Widowmine drops once again here. Absolutely love seeing him do it. Love seeing his micro with it. And I love seeing Zergs trying to come up with a way to try and handle this. What will be the decisive way for Zergs that they try to deal with this type of harassment? Couple of Hellions on the way with that third base. We'll be able to defend that third base rather nicely. Looks like it will be another wave of Banshees coinciding with this. Oh, actually, no, hold up. That is another factory. That is another factory. I just assumed that was a starport. Hold up. Hold up, wait a minute. We're gonna get an armory as well? There's no armory just quite yet. You may just be going Mech. That could be the case, of course. Straight up into Cyclone. Siege tank. Cyclone would make sense. It's Infernal Pre-Igniter. Blue Flame Hellions. Alright, Kjør stepping up a little bit here. Bringing back some older styles. Opening up the shoebox of Terran. Oh, it's gonna get scouted though, at least while the tech lab researching here. And if I was Solar and I saw this, I would start to anticipate Widowmines. But then, he also sees these Hellions over here, so maybe that is gonna give him enough of a heads up that this could be the Blue Flame upgrade as well. Lurking around the Christmas tree. Don't know why I went into song there. Must be getting tired. Weird. Alright, anyway. Double checking. Coming back around here. We'll be looking for an armory. There's the armory. Blue Flame Hellbats, guys. Blue Flame Hellbats. They are... gonna do quite a number on Zergling's all drones. Continuing to make some other stuff as well. Is that going to be... That should be some medevacs coming in here, right? And now going into the... Wait, okay, he did finish it up. No, he's not going to get stim as well, right? Why would he put the barracks back onto the tech lab? Is he going to go into Blue Flame, then Drilling Claws, and then into Bio? Hey, the Blue Flame. Oh, beautiful block there. Nicely made a wall there. Solar fully prepared for that one. Still looking, still looking. Oh, the Queen's out of position here. More Hellions coming in from the other side. Only 2 drones did fall so far. Solar being very, very careful with the number of links he sends out to pin down these Hellions. Gotta be careful not to lose too many. There we go. It was alright, I'd say. Could have been a little bit... Queens? Queens? Oh dear. They thought there were more Queens there. Oh god, there's a wall hole. It's a hole in the wall. A wall hole. Okay, does manage to plug it up right now, but the Hellion's not done just quite yet. More damage could be coming in relatively quickly here. That Blue Flame upgrade, absolutely devastating, of course, but only 7 workers in total do fall. Actually, that make that 9. I thought I was still in time for the numbers to stack up there. And then we just transition this into Widowmine Drilling Claws drop. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty darn nuts. We do have a Spine Crawler and a Spore Crawler here. So should be providing... oh my god, it's even double. It's even double. Alright, Kjør once again going all ham on his Zerg opponents here. This is how he managed to beat Serral. This is how he managed to beat Raynor twice as well. Let's see, a great quick pull there from Solar. Will be able to safeguard his third. Losing 7 workers though over here. It looks like in his main base, no Spore Crawler. Well, there was a Spore Crawler there. The medevac staying alive regardless of that though. Gotta be careful of the Widowmine here. Needs to get that Overseer up to this location. I don't know if he knows that there's still a Widowmine burrowed here. I don't think he does. Making the Spire almost ready. Oh, there go 4 more drones right then and there. Oh, careful, careful. Oh, that was terrifying, wasn't it? More dropping coming in. Those are Hellions and those are Widowmines here. Blue Flame is still a thing, of course. Does not go away. Will still be able to just run in here. Actually gonna transform themselves into Hellbats. Right, getting guarded by the Queens. The Queens. Gotta be careful. 12 more kills right here. 12, are you? Oh my dear lord, this is disgusting, isn't it? 12 more kills. Again, another Widowmine drop. It just never stops. It never slows down. He just keeps coming. Is there never enough units here available for Solar to stim the bleeding? Oh, that was a massive connection as well. A ton of Banelings there getting kicked out of the being alive bucket there. +2 upgrades for the weapons on the way. Thor's on the way. More Widowmines. And a heck of a lot of Marines going in here as well. Kjør managed to get 32 workers in total. It was quite a bit of an investment as well. He sent out 12 Widowmines, 3 Hellbats, 12 Hellions. A couple of medevacs as well, but definitely all worth it in the end. Being able to get that damage secured, and more is still coming in. How many Spore Crawlers would you need to kind of deny access for medevacs like this? I feel like you need... oh, ooh, alright. I feel like you need like 4 of them, right? And then if you have 4 of them over here, I mean, just gonna fly here, see the things, and just go around and be like, you fool, you fool! I can just fly around it. Maybe that will buy Solar a bit more extra time for response. Cleaning up some creep. The creep spread has been going strong, of course, because, well, if you don't have anything pushing back the creep, because you have most of... Oh, watch out. If you have most of your Widow Mines and Hellions going across into the mineral fields instead of denying creep and such, and that will take quite a growth spurt here, as we are witnessing right now. Solar opening up the doorway once more for a bit of counter-aggression. He's on a fairly reasonable work account, right? But he is lacking in the army supply. And Cure already across the fields here has still a significant army force ready to try and take on these Mutalisks. Any type of counter-aggression. It's going to have a rough time coming in here. How many Widow Mines? There's 2 Widow Mines available in total on the top side. It's not that many. Looks like they may be able to get picked off right now. Oh, that was a good bailing right there. Very juicy connection. Okay, it's starting to get dicey here. I mean, both Solar and Cure in a fairly okay position. I think Cure may be in a little bit of a better position right now. But we are seeing the 3-3 upgrades coming in here to play for Solar a lot earlier than for Cure, which is surprising. I hope he did not forget about them. It does seem like he wants to get into a bigger macro game here, right? Making 3 more command centers. Instead of just trying to come in, try to take a trade, and then remake his army quickly. And keep pushing out continuously. He's still going for the macro here. More Marines coming in as well, but this seems to be quite an alright trade for Solar so far. Mutalisk don't clump up against those stores. Do manage to spread out alright. And get an okay thing going for themselves there. But this is another problem right here. Of course, the attack on the right side is still a thing. Is still trying to get some traction going. Doesn't look like it did get pushed backwards without getting significant damage dealt, though. Keeps the Thor alive. Keeps 2 Widow Mines here as well still. Up and rolling. Needs to reinforce those locations. Solar trying to write some braille here in Creep Tumis. Sure, not having any of it. Careful. Ooh. Good amount of Zerglings did bite the bullet there, but those medevacts are quite low now. Good connections with the banelings as well. Was not allowed to open up the doorway, of course, to just get quick access for those Zerglings there. Oh, this drop, that is an unfortunate timing coming in right now, but as they fly across, the Zerglings are underneath them, looking to, well, deal with the forces there. And now, of course, because he saw this coming in, already set up to try and deal with this as efficiently as possible. Ultralisk are here as well. Maybe the Zerglings not going to trade efficiently against those Widow Mines, but the Ultralisk will. But on left side, more Widow Mines. Oh dear, watch out. Those drones. Careful. Zerglings getting on top of the Marines and the Marauders with the Adrenal Glands. +3/+3 about to finish up as well. They definitely know their stuff. They will be able to get some good trades going. The Widow Mines are still here. I don't think Solar actually saw that they were burrowing there. So he's just completely running across the field here, ignoring that, trying to get here as quick as possible. Now that he does have a bit of extra supply knocked out of Cure here, maybe able to get on top of the production before the production really starts making more stuff here. Oh, that's a big Widow Mine connection. And now, again here, these units on the left side, that base will fall. Solar only on 4 bases, remember that. I mean, it's the same amount of bases as Cure. And Cure, he still has a lot of command centers just floating around, ready to reclaim bases whenever it's necessary. A lot of orbitals with scan energy as well in there. Solar's trying to take a 5th base, but it's still a bit of a ways off. 2 more orbitals on the way here. Another orbital there. Yeah, look at that. Immediately just flying over. And reclaimed is that 5th base. Solar, he needs to grab himself more bases as well. That's exactly what he's doing. Would like to see this base also being claimed. I don't mind. Yeah, that's a good shot. Top side. It's just mainly Marauders. Banelings and Ultralisk here. It's a good amount of Marauders though. Not completely certain they will trade efficiently against the against those bad boys. Big beefed up rocket shooters. Without the Overseer here as well, the Mutalisk gonna struggle trying to deal with anything. Still managed to get another orbital down though. Bit of a surprise there perhaps. Don't worry about it. He can just fly one of these three over still as well. Can just fly over his main base also. Not a threat at all. Solar. Can start thinking about taking another base over here as well. Would not be upset about it, even if he doesn't start mining from it immediately. It's still a bit of a buffer for the other base that's probably more important below him. Yes, the money for it, he is maxed out right now, although he looks like he may need to start reinforcing his stuff pretty darn soon. Banelings here rolling into Marauders mainly. And nothing behind here or anything else to really try and take care of the army so they can't move backwards. Instead, we see half of the army of Solar here with most of the Mutalisk as well, trying to take care of the production facilities, trying to get on top of this. Did manage to once again take out that base, but not that much mining here remaining anyway. On top of the production facilities, that is the most efficient as you can get trading-wise versus a Terran. Let's see. Oh, that was bloody. That's an incredible connection there with that Widowmine. Getting most of those Banelings. The Ultralisk here with just a handful of Banelings still as well. The Banelings getting all right connections. The transfuse on this Ultralisk need to happen pretty darn soon. There we go. Keeps it alive, keeps it afloat, and forces Cure backwards. Cure did reclaim his main base though. That is no longer a point of contention. Solar lost the base, but he's still mining in the bottom left side. That is probably the most important mining base right now, as well as this base in the top right side. Nothing else happening much more mining wise for either of these players. Solar perhaps a little bit ahead with the mining overall. No, it's actually going into the favor for Cure here, probably because he has like 5 mules at the same time mining away. Also means that that base is going to be mined out quicker, remember that. Could be a problem later on as well. Cure gonna finally take that, as well, I guess Solar does as well, the high tier gas bases on the upper side of the peninsula here. Peninsula? The high ground. Alright, on the right side here, Solar is going to try to get the Widowmines to set off. That's a good hit though. 15 kills just like that on that Widowmine. That was a lot of Banelings going down as well. Looking at that big scorched up green mark right there. Solar once more going to try to go for the counter aggression though. Does not want to just take a trade up fight here. Just wants to try and intercept as much as possible. Alright, good splitting of those circlings here, denying as much of the AoE splash damage there as possible. Solar is going to allow this base to fall here as well. I would assume he's not going to. He's moving in here. The Banelings falling a little bit short. Only a single Ultralisk remains. Good transfusions though, trying to keep it up and going. Mutalisk coming in together with those circlings. That should be enough here to clean this up. But he did lose that base. Will he now be able to retaliate and reclaim this base as well? And force it to go back to the way of nature. Looks like it will be given up on by Cure here. Running away with that orbital for now. The reinforcements for Cure coming in very strong already. And once again forcing Solar backwards. So, still some Widowmines there. Man, this is going back and forth continuously. More Ultralisk on the way. So, let's think this through, right? Solar not wanting to go for the base trades in that situation, but it does seem to be the way that he wants to approach this continuously. He has this rich Vespian base now secured, but so does Cure. And Cure, I mean, because they are still on a similar supply, they are still on a very similar economy here as well. I would give Cure the advantage. He's slowly taking this. Solar needs to acquire himself another base. And that base could be here on the left. It could also be on the right side, of course, where they're fighting right now. Couple of Zerglings still trying to find whatever they can. It's just not enough anymore. Solar running dry with the amount of forces that he can afford to send across the field here to get that counter-aggression going. Still a healthy drone count for Solar, though, of course, as long as he has the bases to mine from. Let's see, a little bit of an oversaturation there. I mean, yeah, definitely oversaturated here on this on the newest base that is ready to mine. So needs to get that other base going, needs to get that into his favor. Okay, did get rid of all the Widow Mines here. Needs to be careful. I like how he's fighting here with this, the Mutalisk and the Zerglings. Does manage to force those Marauders backwards. And there we go. That's a good connection on the corner there. As Kure is trying to get his forces on the retreating path here. Looks like once again he's going to be pushed out of this location here. And how many SCVs will go down? It looks like a good amount with those Banelings rolling in. There we go. 16 more. And that puts Cure down on 24 workers. He still has, well, another orbital floating around, but nothing much more. GG is called. Solar makes it happen. Alright, well done there. I mean, very, very cool stuff there for Mr. Solar. Even though he took, how many drones did he lose again at the start? Quite a good amount, but you know what, looking at the workers active graph, seems like he was able to kind of keep up with him. Overall, the army value here did go into his favor. Solar is proving himself here in this second series that we're getting to see from him. Maybe he's just a better match for Cure than he is for Bjorn, even though Bjorn was hurting so much. Alright, well, moving onwards. We're going on to Light Shade here. Light Shade, smaller map, very common to see roach all-ins on this one. Is that what we're going to be seeing here? I don't think so. I don't think so necessarily. It's a possibility, but it's not a guarantee, right? But yeah, if we're ever going to see a roach attack, most likely will be in this situation here. Inu forgot to call us. Whoops. Right. Are we just going to continue? I think we are. Right. Okay. Okay. Having a bit of a struggle here. You know what? His mine tactics didn't quite work this time. He managed to get a good amount of damage, but it seemed like Solar nipped it in the butt pretty darn soon as well, and just managed to reclaim that economy, get himself going. In the bottom right side we have a slightly not blue Terran player. He's fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. In the top left side, the blue Zerg fighting for Kaisi Gamers. He is Solar. Right, 2 more points to be claimed here by Solar. Imagine that. Getting a little bit of a lucky stroke, moving forwards into the best of 7 here, and then taking it on as well. Just being able to take the entire event home in the finals wouldn't be too bad. Not too bad at all. Something I would not be upset about. Probably Solar not either. Okay. So, yeah. Cure his Widowmine drops there. I guess he did open up with the Blue Flame Hellion also. So, it seems like he's trying to innovate a little bit here with the style that he brought us versus Raynor and Serral, and trying to get a bit more of a, how would you call this? A bit more variation into the mix, right? As he's not just doing the Widowmine drops anymore, he's trying to then also do the Hellion attack before that. Try to go into Hellbats as well, which, you know, is an interesting take on it, right? You do want to get that armory and such for the quick drilling claws, so it's an interesting take. Just go for those Hellions beforehand, and then you may as well just get themselves the blue flame as well up their value, as it's a potential thing just to incorporate with this. Oh. Does get the Creep Tumor, loses the Reaper though. I think that's the worst. Losing the Reaper is a bit of a bummer, not being able to scout out now what Solar is doing, right? I've said it before, very common to go for a roach all in on this map. You kind of want to be aware of that, but should be able to get the scout on that with his Hellions as well. More of a bummer hit for Solar, I'd say, right? Losing that Creep Tumor. I think those are very, very important Creep Tumors initially. As, you know, there's just no Creep Spread in the main base now either. Because he needed to, you know, get more Creep Spread going at the fronts. His third base is not going to be linked up as quickly as he'd like to. So any type of harassment that Cure can send across the field, going to be a little bit better overall. Only my Discord crashed. Interesting. Hope nobody's trying to message me anything. Okay. So, here we are. Here we are. An interesting opening. Oh. That's not what I want. Well, shoot. Oh, didn't even see the tech lab there. I mean, he wouldn't be too surprised, right, for another Hellion Banshee opening. It does seem to be the regular way for Cure to take this. The one thing that he really wanted to scout, though, of course, is this fusion core. The further dedicated play into the tech lab starport. Gonna go get himself up into the battle cruisers. First initial Banshee. There's only one of them. Could be already a bit of an indicator, right? That Cure's not going for just full-on straight-up double Banshee the Hellion. Oh, losing the Banshee there as well. Is there just no safe space there to hide? I thought there would be. Interesting. But anyway, yeah, Cure very, very often, if he does go for just Banshee harassment into straight-up bio afterwards, he'll wait for the second Banshee, right? Because that way you get to one-shot the drones. It's a lot harder to defend against it. How lethal it is just goes up tremendously. But this time around, battlecruisers. Do we already have a battlecruiser on the map? Almost. Yamato cannon also on the way. 2 armories on the way and 2 factories as well. This is very similar to what we saw Cure try to do against Serral in the King of Battles, where he did manage to win Serral. Well, against Serral there with a single Thor remaining. One Thor to rule it all. It was one hell of a match, not gonna lie. The Cure vs Serral matches are still more memorable for me, at least, than the Serral vs Maru matches, honestly. They were just nuts. Alright. Where are we taking this? Mutalisk already on the way. Mutalisk, they may not be as strong. You know, they don't deal as much damage against the battlecruisers. They take more damage from the battlecruisers as well. But They are more versatile, right? And if you spend your money on those units instead, you're less likely to suddenly be overrun by a big ground force, which could happen. Now, is Solar aware that this is going to transition into Mech? I'm not completely convinced that he is. He does manage to get an insane round on those Hellions. Shot them down very cleanly. And not taking too much damage just quite yet in the economic department. But still, I'm not completely convinced that he knows that this is, you know, actually going into full straight up Mech play right here. He needs to see this. He needs to figure it out. And I think he's kind of starting to put one and one together. There's the Thors. Now he definitely shoot now. I would assume we're going to get a Roach Warren, right? Yeah, there it is. Alright, so this is in fact the moment where he realized, oh, wait up. Oh, right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This is not just two battlecruisers and a ton of Hellions into Bio, which could still happen. Don't get me wrong, that is still a potential thing to happen, right? People love those mind games sometimes being thrown in as well. But not this time around. Definitely not this time around. Need a bit of a beefier army force here for Solar. We need to get those Ravages out. We need to get the, I would assume Lurkus as well eventually, right? Either Lurkus or Broodlord, something like that. Could even try to go into the Swarmhosts. I wouldn't be upset about Swarmhosts here either. Well, the siege tanks being created, and Swarmhosts definitely do quite well against those. Mech armies very slow, very, very impactful in their damage as well, to be fair. Sure, but against a good utilized Swarmhost composition, they definitely can struggle quite a bit. And we have more Corruptors now on the way, so I'm starting to assume that we're gonna get the more so into the Broodlords more quickly here. Roach attack, Infestation Pit also on the way. Here just building up his force more and more so. Getting together the Widowmines with the Thors. That's why you just don't want to play Mutalisk into this. You will absolutely lose all of them in a matter of milliseconds, not even seconds. Alright. The time for battlecruisers does seem to be a little bit at an end. 8 Mutalisk versus the, well, with the 7 Corruptors there as well versus 3 battlecruisers. Gonna be a difficult fight every single time. But still, great micro hit from Cure. Flying in, getting whatever he can. Shooting out those Yamato cannons and then just teleporting backwards again. Hive tech on the way. Important to keep those Corruptors alive for now. How many Corruptors do we have? 7. Not bad. Oh, grab that tank. There we go. Oh, thank you, Kashim. A rose. Aww. So sweet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is not great. We may need the fire department here because that is... Well, you know what? Maybe just an ambulance, really. Quite a few dead drones there. It's okay. Solar is allowed to take that damage right now, I would say. It's not hurting for drones by any stretch of the imagination. He's doing alright for himself. 91 work is still available here. So maybe actually helping Solar out a little bit. So he's no longer on 100 drones. Blue Flame on the way, yeah. This is just gonna straight up go into the Broodlords. Vipers on the way as well. Been just a bit of a slowed down match though overall, right? We don't see these players really immediately jumping on top of their expansions. They're kind of slowing it down a little bit here and there. We do have some harassment with Hellions and battlecruisers, but it's a smart way to approach this, really. Managed to get 2 Queens to Spore Crawler, a good amount of drones here, it looks like. But as I said before, not the worst case here for Solar to lose a couple of drones. He does not want to lose Corruptors though. That is one of the things that he needs to keep banking up right now. And let's take a gander at what he has as an army composition. He still has 43 Lings, 30 Banelings here. That is still quite a significant force. Those are usually utilized to get rid of the Hellbeds. Then the Zerglings will be able to get on top of the Thors as well, of course. He's got a reasonable amount of Ravagers, 6 of them. Which should be able to, you know, still manage to deal with some of the Siege Tanks. Trying to delay this expansion as much as possible. Corruptors. I mean, he has 13 of them. And he's losing some of his supply. So he will be able to start the Broodlord production here momentarily. This is why he's starting to slowly get rid of some of these units here, right? Sending in small clusters of Banelings, Zerglings with a Roach as well. He no longer needs these units. He needs to get a higher tier army composition, which will be the mass Broodlords here. Some Infestors as well. Neural Parasite on the way. Absolutely fantastic choice. Gotta love seeing it. Oh, Inu. I'm sorry. Inu, you what a sick man, isn't he? Just oh, misclicking. All right, well, continuing immediately. Thank God that didn't happen during a fight. All right, trading out more of his Ravagers, Roaches, and Zerglings. He's gonna try to do it as slowly as possible, of course. Also want to just give an opportunity here for Kjør to move across the field and absolutely clean up Solar's forces. Siege tanks. A lot of siege tanks are falling. The problem is as well, though, cleaning up these siege tanks frees up more supply for Thors. And Thors are the army units that Kjør needs right now. Those siege tanks... absolutely hopeless against Broodlords, so the more siege tanks that are available for Kjør here, the better it's going to be for Solar. Which is a weird thing to say, right? Usually when you manage to kill siege tanks with Zerglings and Ravagers, it's a good thing, but I'm not completely certain that it is in this situation. Now the Broodlords did get themselves spotted out as well here, had to deal with some Hellion run by harassment. 11 workers did fall. Again, not the worst case for Solar here. Apparently he was on 99 workers to begin with. He's remaking them as well though, which is surprising to me. Don't think he needs that many at the moment. I think he can afford to go down to about the 80 mark perhaps. Just get himself a bigger army. It's not that much mining on this map anyway, right? There's very certain limited amount. Only 7 bases in total for both these players, unless if Solar manages to steal away one of the bases of Kjør, which is a difficult thing to do on a map such as Lightshade. Very clear cut where the lines is drawn. How many Thors do we have available here? That is 7 Thors. Together with 7 Vikings. And is that 7 siege tanks as well? No, it's 8. That's a shame. Only two Hellbeds here. Really ruining the numbers. Right, here we go. This should be the rubber meets the road moments, perhaps. With a couple of battle cruisers on the top side as well, making life difficult here. Solar is still trying to just get the army that he wants to. He's losing 10 workers here. Doesn't seem like the worst thing. Again, making a lot of Corruptors instead. Man, those Yamato cannons finding a lot of damage here as well, don't they? Continuous scanning going on. The battlecruiser is now on top of the rest of this army. That was a brilliant maneuver as well. Forcing all the Corruptors to the top side. And now he's going to be able to just jump back on top of this army. Let's see these Broodlords, how well they will be able to do against the Thors. They are coming in. We need to see some blinding clouds here on the Thors. There we go. Do manage to get good connections. Also on the siege tanks here. And the Corruptors coming in, also getting rid of most of the Vikings. The battlecruisers do get taken control over as well. The siege tanks Mostly firing at the Broodlings. That is a great trade here for Solar. Sure, he did lose 2 bases, but he does manage to win the overall battle in the sky right now. Still has 2 Corruptors here as well. 3 Corruptors versus those Vikings. Should be able to win this fight, right? More Corruptors on the way. Production for the Zerg, of course, going to just be a lot quicker than the one we have available here for the Terran player. Going to take a while to recreate all those Thors and such. But Thors we will get. For certain. Now, one way you can still improve this army setup for Cure would be to get himself a couple of ghosts, right? Ghosts still something that could come into play here in order to kind of shut down those Vipers. Now, to be fair, we do still have 2 Vipers actually. I thought they all got killed off there, but that is not the case. Hellions again here coming in. Fungal's not quite hitting the right spots. More of these drones are falling. And that puts him down on 72 workers. He's remaking some of them. Alright. I mean, alright. Whatever he wants. He's the man in charge right now, of course. He's the one with the reins. But I honestly don't think he may need as many anymore. The quicker he mines out those other bases as well, I guess will be a benefit to him. Having those resources quicker available, but he's already at a position where he's almost like, well, 3 bases is going to be the maximum that he's really mining efficiently of. Coming in again with Alliance here, more drone damage. Again, more drones being recreated here by Solar. I think it's the worst, really, to just be on a lower drone count here as time goes on, but oh well. Oh well, he knows better than I do. That's for certain. I should probably stop mentioning it. All the upgrades that are still lacking now getting created as well here for Cure. He's starting to incorporate some of the Liberators as well. Liberators a good tool to fight off against those Infestors also. Here we go. Nice Blinding Cloud once more coming in straight away on those Thors. Will be able to facilitate some extra potential for the Broodlords. The Broodlords doing a fantastic job right now. Coming in on the right side are a couple of Thors still as well. The Broodlords getting shot quite heavily. More drones on the left side do fall as well. And yeah, it looks like, you know what, Cure is gonna lose this base here. At least one of them. At a bare minimum, may lose even more so if Solar decides to go straight towards those 2 orbitals on the top side. Maybe enough for him to start snowballing this a little bit more heavily. Very scrappy situation here. I guess Solar really doesn't have that much of a bank actually right now. Making 8 Infestors. I think that's maybe a bit too many, right? Infestors, they are absolutely fantastic against these big high-tier unit compositions, but I mean, they get shut down so quickly by the Liberators and the Siege Tanks now that I don't know. I just always seem to prefer the Vipers in these situations. But then again, the Neural Parasite, if you do manage to land them, it is fan-bloody-tastic, of course. 15 more workers. These Hellion run-bys continuously doing so much. A Liberator at the top side as well. We'll be able to get 5 workers killed off us here. And more Hellions, 19 workers just like that. Solar once again recreating these workers here. Struggling to get all this money together. As his bases are running drier and drier. Yeah, even, well, I guess he can get some more drones on this base over here. But Cure holds off on the attack here on this middle base, the 6 o'clock location. And that means there's still a bit of a fight going on here, of course. Cure, he is slowly taking control of this series, I would say. Unless if we get another fight going quite heavily into the favor for Solar. Where are these Vipers? He's got 3 of them. Are they inside of the mix here? Looks like they are. Trying to get them. There we go. Alright, all 3 of them are together right now. And let's see how he does. Already evacuating some of those drones. He's losing more drones here as well due to Liberator harassments. He's going to have to find a way to deal with that as well at the same time. Okay, those Thors now dealing quite heavily with the Broodlords. there are some abductions, but are those abductions actually helping, as they are putting the Thors in a position where they are no longer in the blinding clouds? The Liberators are dealing very well with the Broodlings as well, causing them just to not deal as much damage. The Broodlords, they are gone right now. The Infestors, they are gone right now. It's just Corruptors in the sky. GG is called. Solar losing game number 4. Okay. Okay. And yeah, alright. I mean, not even needing the Ghost right there to add a little bit of extra micro potential, I suppose, to his army composition. Kure just having more than enough with the with the Thors and the Liberators there. Vikings also being a big part of that one, of course. Kind of buffering for those Liberators continuously, just every shot of those, taking care of those Broodlings there. And yeah, great micro as well, moving those Thors out of the blinding clouds. Targeting the Vipers as well, I believe is what happens. Because if you get more than one single blinding cloud, that is just going to increase the lethality of those Broodlords significantly, right? It's going to be nuts. Alright, there we go. We're ready for another game here. It's tied up. We're 2-2. And we're going to Pillars of Gold for game number 5 to see if one of these players will be able to start taking the lead again. I would assume so, unless if we get a tied up situation, which doesn't happen all too often. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. We're still good on everything, right? I'm starting to get concerned with my Discord still being disconnected. I don't know if that's a Discord problem or an internet problem. Usually, I should be able to see if there is an internet problem in OBS as well, but not seeing anything pop up there, so I'm gonna just assume that we're good. Just gonna assume that we're good. Alright, let's get this score updated and let's introduce these players again, shall we? In the bottom left side, a red Terran player. He's a dragon, he's a phoenix, and he's a gamer as well. He is Kure. Top right side, the blue Zerg. Fighting for Kaisi Gamers, he is Solar. Okay. Oakley dokily. We are once more on Pillars of Gold. Pillars of Gold not getting chosen quite early in the scene here on this series. Not being favored as much. Just trying to remember which other maps we've already had earlier on today. Well, in this series, of course, in particular. So we just saw Lightshade. I believe we saw Death Aura before that. We saw... we didn't see Oxide quite yet. Oh, we saw... was it Submarine? Wasn't it Submarine where we started on? It was Submarine. And then Jigannatha, right? I believe that was the order, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so that would mean this map is actually Solar's map choice. Of the ones that were still available, of course. Solar's map choice. It's a big map. There's quite a couple of open areas here. Can be relatively easily to grab those 4 bases, of course. And then a 5th base, maybe a little bit more tricky. They do get further and further away. But it is still doable as a defensive setup. Initial Reaper. Can he get the damage once again here? Will he be able to get those Zerglings? Creep Tumor. Seems to be a bit of a thing for Solar almost, right? Getting just a bit more damage than you would anticipate here. Every time losing again 2 of those links. Oh, he went up to 2 Reapers. I did not see that. My bad. My bad. Interesting. He's gonna try to get more damage done. It's almost like a bit of a... Well, you keep losing units to a first Reaper. What if I just make a second Reaper here? And he does get 2 drone kills. So, you know what? Pretty darn solid. Not bad. I think that is... it's not too horrendous for just a single Reaper loss there. That, and he gets the scout off as well. I guess he didn't see the third base just quite yet, but he didn't see a roach warrior, and he saw more drones coming out of those eggs. So it looks like that is okay. What's up, Enki? How are you doing, my man? It's cool that you could join me here. Right, third base starting to look rather healthy in the drone counts here. Cure, what will be his response this time around to try and deny as much mining here as possible? Or, well, I guess drones as much as possible. Already getting some of those creep tumors. Oh, you're sick, Enki. Oh, that's not a good thing. Hope it's nothing too bad. Guess you still have a happy face right there in the chat, so I'm assuming it's not too bad. Alright, anyway, once again, we're seeing a battlecruiser opening here. So far, Cure, when he... Let me think. He did do 2 battlecruiser openings. One of them went into Bio, the other one went into Mech. The Mech one definitely worked out better for him. Let's see which way he wants to go this time around. Another factory, it will be Mech. Alright. Solid stuff. Immediately to armories on the way as well. Solar already has his Roach Warren. Did I just miss him going in here with a oh right, yeah, you got to see the fusion core there. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. There's the teleportation right behind the mineral line of the natural. Spore Crawler is available, but that is still going to be a little bit of a difficult one, of course. So far, only a single drone does get picked off. Hellion's still at the front as well, looking to find any opportunities that they may. Main base as well under a bit of threat here, getting as many drones as he can. Look at him click away on those little fellas. 6 of them so far. Gonna get that Overlord as well. Unless we transfuse him, of course. Will there be one? No, there won't be. Unlucky. That drone was not loved enough by Mr. Solar here. Or the Overlord. We'll be trying to get rid of some SCVs of his own here on the other side of the fields. A couple of Hellions behind the mineral patches though, making it quite difficult for the Zerglings to get the damage rolling in here. 4th base for Solar as well, getting denied. You're watching the great games? Ah, good. Alright. It's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Couple more drones do fall. Yamato Cannon is about to be coming in here. Overseer. Pretending to be a bunch of Zerglings on the minimap right there. Always tricking me. There's the Corruptors now joining in. The anti-battlecruiser hit squad. There's only 2 of them available, but we are going to go up against the 3 battlecruisers once more. And I am very interested to see how Solar is going to do this differently this time around. Is he going to try to still do the macro game? I don't think he will, seeing how many roaches are moving across and how many more roaches are in that production tab. This time around, he will just try to ram down his superior numbers here in supply into the face of the mech army. That's still relatively small at the moment. How many siege tanks do we have available? There's 4 of them. 2 of them still coming in right now. They are not going to be sieged up in time, at least, and not together with the rest of this army. The roaches, though, a lot of them attacking these supply depots and the missile turrets. So as this fight is going on, a lot of these siege tanks getting some extra volleys off of the Zerg units. The Corruptors trying to run away from the Yamato cannon. Unfortunately, that is not how it works. And yeah, the force of Solar does get kind of scrambled up right now. He's making more units, still sending more across the field, but will he suddenly have enough here to really push himself forwards? Get into that mineral line. So far, it looks okay. The siege tanks here not going to have enough coverage to really help out the command center as soon as that starts to get provoked by those roaches. Widow mine on the left as well, apparently. Some biles trying to get rid of the missile turret also will open up the sky for those Corruptors to fly in onto those battle cruisers a little bit better. But we should have 3 Yamato cannons coming up momentarily as well again, so definitely need to see an uptick in the Corruptor count here. The 3rd base, I mean, Kjør absolutely fine with not mining here for a while, right? It's okay, he can afford not to. But we're already seeing Solar making a bit of a switch here, going for that 4th base that is established. We saw a couple more drones coming in here as well. He's just looking to get as much damage dealt as possible, get an early lead. But will it be enough? Will it be enough for him to allow a lead into a next step in this game right here? 22 workers in total have been killed off so far. In he goes again. Needs to get on top of those battle cruisers. The battle cruiser, one of them does fall. The siege tanks a little bit clumped up here, getting hit by the Ravager Biles. But, oh, those 2 on the left side, they are doing an amazing job right now. Repair on the battle cruisers not really taking part right now. There was 1 battle cruiser trying to get repaired, but not working out in his favor. And this base, oh, that battle cruiser there as well, under a bit of pressure. And corrosive biles. That is still called corrosive biles, right? It's the gobbledygook. There we go. The gobbledygook on the planetary. Not bad. Solar, he's making some headway. Would love to get this base as well. Does manage to do so. Gets more siege tanks as well. It's just an unending flood of roaches and ravagers at this point, and I feel like he's starting to gain enough traction to just start getting really worried here for our Terran player. We're still floating around with 1 orbital here on the left side, which would be a nice thing if it were to ever be able to start mining again, but at this moment in time, it's not looking likely. GG is called. Solar manages to shut down the Mech style here from Kjør before it really gets any foothold in the game. Well done. Well done there by Mr. Solar, our little Zerg player right there. Catching up once again. Actually taking the lead right now in the score, isn't he? Yes, he is. Alright, let me see. Look back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 3-2 right now. That is, well, on him on match points at least. Kjør now needs to win 2 games in a row. I'm a bit surprised. I thought Kjør would not have this much difficulty against Solar. We saw Solar earlier today getting 3-0'd by Björn, and I mean, we all know how Kjør can be amazing in TVZ. We all know that he's able to take out well, some of the best players, Rainer, Cyril, all that stuff, right? With some what looked relatively easy for him to do. But here he is struggling today versus Solar after struggling earlier this week versus DRG also. So is he just trying to play a different style? Yes, he is a little bit, but it's not too far apart from what we saw against these EU behemoths as well. Anyway, we're moving on through into the next one. Here we go, game number 6. 2 points removed from victory. It's the red Terran player in the top left side. He's from Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. His opponent in the bottom right side, it's a blue Zerg player fighting for Kaisi Gamers. He is Solar. Once again, going for the good old standard openings here, both these players. Gives me a quick second to grab some of my drinks from the fridge. Cure tired from defeating Bjorn earlier today. It could be the case. It could be. But he absolutely manhandled Patience as well still. Maybe Solar just needed a bit of a warm-up against Bjorn, right? Wasn't quite ready yet that day. I'm not sure if he played any other StarCraft II before that one. But yeah. Bjorn did, of course, because he played against Cure earlier on. Solar, a conundrum to me. Hard to figure out what level he is at. Yeah, truly the case. He is so volatile in his overall performance. It is really difficult to see exactly, right? And make predictions about him. How he's going to be performing. It's pretty solid with his overall execution, but he can be a little bit all over the place with his builds as well, right? Just suddenly going for an attack, suddenly going for the roaches or the Zerglings, Mutalisks, stuff like this. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. It's a difficult one to figure out. Especially with stuff like this, right? Where you wouldn't expect a Zerg on his caliber to lose consistently his Zerglings against the initial Reaper. He still does it, and I still sometimes struggle to kind of figure out why or how that is happening exactly. Guess it's just a little bit less finesse with the micro. So the overall idea, how you hold against that Reaper without losing the Zerglings, is you try to put your Zerglings as far back as possible, which is something I guess I don't see Solar do all too often. But yeah, put them as far back as possible. You can, you know, move some of your drones over here as well. You don't have a fully saturated base when the Reaper first comes in. So put your drones backwards as well. And as the Reaper commits as far as possible into the creep, you can send your links in. Right? Start chasing him down. The Reaper needs to micro backwards. As soon as he reaches, well, as soon as your links reach the edge of the creep, that's when you move backwards with your links. And you move them all the way back over here again. Right? So the Reaper starts attacking the links. He gets more of a reason to keep attacking the links. And that is why he's chasing them more so. And that gives you more of a creep highway. More of a bit of momentum for your Zerglings to take use of, or make use of. Take advantage of. Does he see the armory? Yes, he does. I'm not completely certain he clicked on it, though. Still a bit of a question right there. So what's up, Motion? Thank you for the on fire. Much appreciated. Does help me get some more visibility on the Trovo streaming platform here. Roach Warren on the way, yeah. Looks like Solar did manage to get a good read on what is happening here. Unless it, well, If he didn't click on this, he could be under the impression that this could start to go into battle cruisers again as well, right? That could be the case. But I like the overload speed here from our Zerg player. Just making sure that he will be able to get the scouts off that he needs. Gonna come in again, reassess the situation here. Coming in from this angle as well makes me... Oh no, actually, no, he's gonna check the third. Checking the third first. He's gonna immediately go upwards again. Into the main base, alright. That's where he stops. It's like, alright, I've seen enough. He's coming in again. 2 engineering base. That should give him a good indication of what's happening here. Will be once again the Widowmine play into bio. This is what we know was able to beat the very strongest of EU Zergs. This is what I want to see him play as well, not gonna lie. I mean, he's been able to have so much success with it. What is it? What makes him use, well, not want to use this tactic so much against these Korean Zergs? Uh-oh. Unfortunate. Unfortunate event there for the Roaches. Let's lose all of those, it looks like. Yeah, not even really trading anything else anymore. Already a supply wall there as well. Carapace and ranged attack on the way together with the Spire play. So, Solar, he is sticking to the Roaches right now. Is he still anticipating this to be Mech? Could that be the case? I mean, what did he see? He saw another barracks on the way. He saw the 2 engineering base. He should know, right? He should know. There's no Baneling Nest on the way, though. No real circling upgrades. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, that was a quick pull. That was that was in the nick of time. Could have been absolutely horrendous coming in again here on the right side. A lot of drop ships coming in. Absolutely left, right, and everywhere, basically. I suppose the Roaches, they are doing a lot better at just cleaning up. Oh, God. Oh, okay, well. Huh. I feel like the Roaches, they are a smart response to this. They are definitely something that I would like to see Zergs try against this type of play. But you need to have them in every single mineral line, right? You need to have them kind of spread out and then in positions where if the Widow Mines come in, you still can pull away your workers. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to see a big Roach 1-1 all in here from Mr. Solar. He is making a 4th base behind this, so maybe if he does try something else here, he's going to be able to, well, if he gets a reasonable amount of damage, right, you may be able to try something else. Ooh, the wall not getting, close right there. That's helping him out a little bit here. All the Roaches already on top of the siege tanks. The medevac gets taken out as well. Widow Mines trying their best, but the Widow Mines not the best tool when there's already this amount of Roaches on top of your SCVs. Coming in relatively hard right now, getting a good amount of kills, trying to make use of that wall right now in his favor. Using it as a choke point against those SCVs. 29 of them did go down. We do have more Widow Mines here as well, trying to retaliate. Get a bit of damage dealt across the map as well, but it's nowhere near the numbers that we're seeing going down for Cure here. Funnily enough, Cure still in the lead though because of the amount of works that he did manage to pick off earlier on. That's still a big ball of bio though, does come in here. Stims on top of those Roaches, and it looks like Cure will stabilize just barely. The medevacs are out of energy though. Can it still work into Solar's favor? I don't think so. The reinforcements for Cure just so much closer by here. We'll be able to eventually clean this up, you would imagine. And the worker count only 3 apart right now. A 4th base already available here for Cure as well. He's in a really good spot. He's in a really good spot. +2/+2, almost ready as well. Combat shields also. Man, that looked like it was going to snowball into Solar's favor, but Cure managed to gather up enough forces, bunch up as many Marines, gathered all the men from every which village around town here for the Terran, and gave them all a gun, brought them all to fight, and managed to get something going in his favor here. Right, here we go, another attempt at breaking the front door here. And this again, just not enough for Solar. GG is called, and the series is tied up once again. Yopi Pemmy, what's up? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Enjoying the StarCraft, I hope. Guys, remember, I mean, this is my last chance to kind of talk in between the game here. We do have a Matcherino. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys help out these players with the best, you know, code giving action that you can do. Hi. This is funny. I'm not used to the pros messaging me. Clem's suddenly asking me for replays. Interesting. Is he watching right now? So I dropped the bottle cap of my milk as well. That's probably not the best thing to do. Anyway, what's up? Oh, that's funny. I don't think he would be, right? He would have been able to find it otherwise. We don't know. We don't know. Anyway, regardless. What a guy. What a guy. Sorry. That caught me off guard. That never really happens to me. What we doing? What we doing? Neo joining in as well. What's up, Neo? Alright. Cure versus Solar. Continuing onwards, guys. Here we go. The final game. Best of 7. Solar versus Cure. In the top right side, we got ourselves the Dragon Phoenix Gamer. He is Cure. Bottom left side, a blue Zerg player. Fighting for the KSC Gamers. He is Solar. Alright, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Just the standard straight up openings once more. It's the final match. Comes down to whoever wins this one. It's been a real back and forth here. Much more than I thought it would be. Much more than I thought it would be. Cure actually losing the lead as well a couple of times. And now, suddenly we're tied up once more. There's an entire friend group right now in the chat as well. Is this the Latin American community, it seems? That's very cool to see. All of Enki's fans coming in here because, well, I guess Enki, unfortunately, not being able to cast right now due to some illness. Seemed like he was doing okay though. Oh dear, that is a Overlord that needs to dash on top of that high ground as quickly as possible. It's funny how you can see the panic there for a moment as well. Oh no, 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 no. Solar, you need to go here, buddy. You need to go here. There's a little gap where you can still hide that Overlord, but yeah, there's still quite a place where you will be able to spot it out. Very quick third command center here as well. Drones on the way. Yeah, both these players just gonna ramp up the economy game here as much as possible. Second barracks on the way, so this time around we will see the bio from Cure. Unless if he misclicks enormously twice in a row, which I highly doubt. I don't understand. Beyond win or lose. Yeah, so... Well, yeah, there it is in the chat right now. Beyond forfeited because his wrist is just absolutely in a horrendous condition right now. He apologized, so he had to let it go for Solar here. He did manage to 3-0 Solar though, with his hand going numb as well at the same time. So You know what? Hats off to that fella right there. But, not working in his favor. Not working in his favor. I suppose Solar's pretty happy about it, though. Well, probably not that. You know, Gun has got a messed up wrist, but that he gets the opportunity here to continue forwards. Get a bit of a bigger chunk of the dough overall. Again, yeah, I mean, it's just pretty darn bad. I feel like he needs to take a big break, man. I don't even know. Get some wrist training going on, stuff like this, you know. Have people look at it, see some, how do you call this in English? Just, you know, somebody that knows about this kind of stuff. But, yeah, it's horrendous. He said his hand went numb, so I don't know if that is him making it sound worse than it is, or maybe just something translation-wise, or something like that, but sounds pretty bad. Sounds pretty bad, not gonna lie. Which is a real bummer, you know, for somebody that is so incredibly good overall, to continuously be held back by something as you know, I don't want to say silly, but it really does feel that way, right? It's just, unfortunate. Anyway, we got Solar and Cure here. We got this series going now because of this, and it's been a really good series, so, you know what, we're getting a little bit lucky with that as well, I suppose, right? That's the upside of this all. We are allowed to try and find an upside with something as frustrating as that. See, gonna be able to see the drop? Yes, he will be able to. Overlord is in position as well, after all. The drone's already trying to get away there. Trying to figure out which way they need to go. Do we not have any banelings? We don't have a baneling nest quite yet. Not even a baneling nest being acquired so far. It's just Zerglings, no Mutalisk either, and a ton of Queens. I guess Solar really over-preparing here for a potential battlecruiser opening, it seems. Not spending most of his money here onto the ground defenses, and I don't blame him. I mean, Cure has been doing a lot of battlecruisers here. He went up to 7 Queens in total. He brought them all over for the defense there. But 6 minutes, and only now he's got the first couple of banelings from the field. No speed here available either. That's a dead Overlord. Another one bites the dust. Tudum-tum-tum. Not gonna get DMCA'd over here, boys. No, sir. What's happening here? Another little bit of a skerfuffle. Only a single Marine does go down. Quick pick up there for Cure. Cure, what else is he up to? Drilling Claws coming up. Really doubling down on the Widow Mines here. The Zergling does come in and get a reasonable scout. I mean, you would assume this is Drilling Claws, right? You could assume that it is, I suppose, Blue Flame as well, but this would be such a weird timing for that. It would, yeah, the most likely thing is Drilling Claws there. I doubt that you can get anything else under control. Drop that, getting 9 workers. Another drop over here on the right side. Will be coming in momentarily. There we go. 1 Widow Mine. Oh, that's a good amount. 5 more workers. How many is this one gonna get? Careful. Okay, gets 1 more, but also gets all the larvae. Larvae also a resource, of course, for the Zerg. In come more Widow Mines. Widow Mines on the left side again here. Looking for a potential worker line to interrupt. Okay, this is difficult to keep track of, Cure. This is putting me to a task here. Another drop. 2 drops on the left, a push in the middle, and a drop on the right. Alright, let's see which one is going to go in here first. There it is. 4, 7. Not bad, not bad. Pretty darn tasty. Bulking up the Marine count here as well at the same time. Still has this Widow Mine drop here. Widow Mine on the right side. Ooh, let's see. Oh, getting a good amount there as well. 28 workers in total so far. Starting to get somewhere. Alright, coming in once more. Natural base this time will be the target. Okay, is he gonna not realize that there's more than just 2 in there? Oh, no, he doesn't in time. There was Banelings. Absolutely demolished. This is just very interesting as well, how he rotates between 2 Widow Mines and then suddenly 4 Widow Mines. I wonder if that is just because that is how many Widow Mines he has available, or if this is something he does specifically to kind of mind game his opponents, right? Dropping 2 Widow Mines continuously, absolutely everywhere, and then suddenly, you know, that's 4 of them. You're like, alright, there's the 2 Widow Mines, you let your drones clump up, and then, oh dear lord, there's 2 more right there available on top of my workers right now. And all those Banelings as well, I suppose. Yeah, Solar on 59 workers. Kure is doing a fantastic job right now. Those Hydralisks, they are helping out. Getting some good connections here with those Banelings. I think, was there more Widow Mine harassment going on? I'm not even completely certain anymore. Because it looked like Kure kind of stopped paying attention there to the front line. There's still a very hefty army force here available for Solar. If he manages to get rid of this worker line right here, that would kind of equal out the worker count here and the economy. 14 of them do fall. And that seems to be a very good start here for Solar. Hydralisk still pushing forwards. Where are the siege tanks? There are 2 of them on the high ground here, but that's about it. Kure back on a 2 base economy here, being forced into an awkward position. And that's going to cause Solar to once again get ahead with the worker count. Still a bit of harassment, of course, in the bottom right side. It's going to need some attention there from Mr. Solar. As long as Solar keeps his Hydras and his Zerglings in front of the main base of Kure here, this is going to be a very, very difficult situation for him to push out. Left side here, Kure coming in again with those 2 medevacts. Kure, remember, he killed off 46 workers. But he never really dealt with the army of Solar. Having those Widow Mine harassing continuously. Sure, you're doing a lot of economic damage, but it's not doing your own army any favors either. You're gonna have a weaker force back at home eventually because of this, right? I mean, the supply of those Widow Mines is gonna have to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is going to be your own defensive setup. Okay, Kure, he is looking really good though on this front line right here. The siege tanks with the Widow Mines in front. I think he should be able to get this going for him. But no, no sir, the Hydras is too strong in this situation. More Zerglings, more Banelings coming in. And another mineral line is under threat, and GG is called just like that. Man, oh man, Solar brings it back again, getting himself another victory. And that was the most important one in a best of 7. Game number 7, GG is called.